Hey guys, it's Mike with the Daily BM. Welcome back to another episode. In this episode, I talk about my crazy last 2 weeks and the adventures I've been having. And Brad talks about legacy. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you on the next one.
Hey, better late than ever, fuckers. It's us. It's the Daily BM, which we're not really daily, but honestly, we just don't give a shit. So, welcome to the show. If you're lucky enough to be listening in, great. If it's your first time, won't be your last. Mikey, what's going on?
Hello. What is going on? My life has been a shit show for the last 3 weeks.
Well, let's
That's
just
what's going
dive
on.
right in to this shit show, sir.
Yeah. So
where
wife
does it
was in the
begin?
hospital.
Where does the shit show begin here?
started out with the wife going to the ER and ended up having a nice week-long vacation to have her gallbladder removed.
Nice.
And then during that process, my mom decided that it was a good time to have a house fire. So I had to pull her out of a burning building.
So you actually
And
took
then
her out? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I had to remove her out of the building. It was intense.
No, that's what I meant. You didn't leave her.
Hindsight 2020.
Life insurance. Wait, what?
Hindsight's 2020.
I know, right? I'm rich, bitch. No, I'm not.
God,
So
dude,
break
it was
down.
such a
So
fiasco.
break down each one of these. So what happened with the wife? She just went in. All of a sudden, she just had some pain and said, "Okay, it's time to go get the gallbladder removed." I mean,
she
how
had
this all
gotten-
transpire?
So she wasn't feeling well on a Sunday and hadn't eaten anything. Couldn't keep anything down. So Monday, we were thinking it was just like the 24-hour bug. So Monday, she still wasn't feeling well, couldn't keep anything down. And by Tuesday midday, she was still having some struggles.
Right.
And, she was basically just vomiting. There was no diarrhea or anything. So I was a little concerned about her being dehydrated. So we decided to take a trip to the ER. She wanted to go to the new Orlando Health Watson Clinic down here by my house.
Okay.
Which is a beautiful facility.
But it's new. So I'm sure there were some issues there.
People are super friendly. We got right into the emergency room. She had a nice big room. Everybody was amazing. The staff was super friendly.
Wait, that is actually a partnership with Watson Clinic, right?
Yes. Orlando Health and Watson Clinic. Great
Surprised you
staff.
haven't had any issues.
So they did the, ultrasound, and then they did a CAT scan, and the guy came in and said, well, you've got a gallstone in your duct, so we need to admit you because you need to have that taken out and then your gallbladder removed, because once you have, a gallbladder attack where it starts throwing stones, then you are more susceptible to have those in the future. Hunky dory. It's Tuesday night. Wednesday
Wait, so you got in on a
morning-
Sunday, and then now it's
her
Tuesday?
Her symptoms started on
Oh,
Sunday.
okay.
We didn't go to the ER till Tuesday because,
okay.
like I said, she thought it was like a 24-hour stomach bug, symptom, because she was vomiting and sick. So by the time Tuesday morning rolled around, she thought it was getting more serious. And then by Tuesday afternoon, talked her into going to the ER. So they admitted her. We got up to the room. It was a really nice room. Didn't take super long to get her admitted. The next morning, they had scheduled her for the procedure, which is, I think it's an ECRP. I might be wrong, but if I am, just Google it.
Looks like you
Basically, what
paid
they do is
attention in dental school. Or I mean, dental school, in medical school.
Yeah. So basically, they traveled down your esophagus with a scope, and then they catch the U-turn up to the gallbladder duct, and then they suction out the gallbladder stone and make sure the duct's clear, so that the next day they can do laparoscopic surgery to remove the gallbladder. Unfortunately, because their systems are new, the nurse didn't get the message, so she administered the anti-blood clotting medication that they give as a protocol for people that are administered in the hospital to prevent you from
Right.
getting blood clots while you're laying there. So by doing that, they had to delay the surgery for 24 hours. The next hurdle, so now it's, Wednesday, couldn't do it anything to Wednesday, which the whole time she's only on IV fluids, no food by mouth or water by mouth. So she's had nothing to eat since Sunday, nothing solid. So she's getting a little hangry.
Yeah, because she hasn't had food in what, 3 days?
Yeah, Thursday, they realized they didn't have the kit at that hospital to do the surgery. So they were having it transported from the Orlando Health in Orlando. And then the doctor was called out for an emergency procedure, so he wasn't able to do the surgery on now Thursday. So now we're rolling into Friday. Friday, the doctor was on call at another hospital, so he wasn't able to do it until after his on-call shift to the hospital. And then when he got there, because Orlando Health Plaza Clinic Lakeland is a new hospital, they only had one anesthesiologist on the floor. And they were finishing up with another case, and the doctor was getting tired, so he's like, I kind of want to go home. And we were like devastated because we were like, shit, we've been here for a while now.
Which takes 20 minutes to take a gallbladder out.
It's not a gallbladder. This was the ECRP. So this is where they have to go down endoscopically, turn around, suction it out, and then cut the little sphincter that's
probably 20 minutes.
It was about a 45-minute procedure.
So it's actually longer for that procedure than it is to remove the gallbladder itself?
Yeah, yes, because they have to go slower and it's more fine-tuned. And there's only 4 doctors, I guess, in the whole state of Florida that perform this
Shocker.
procedure. So it's not a very, often done procedure. So as she was getting prepped, a stroke victim came in, so the anesthesiologist had to wait until that victim was cleared before she was able to take Tracy in to get her procedure. So she got her procedure done, and everything went well. The next morning at 8:00, she had her gallbladder removed, and then by that afternoon on Saturday, she was able to eat, and she was released on Sunday. Now, meanwhile, that's what all transpired. On Friday, I normally take my mom to lunch, and I was going to call and cancel because Tracy was supposed to go in for a procedure on Friday at 1:00.
Right.
But something just told me, I was like, I'm going to feel really terrible if I cancel on my mom. So I decided to just hop in the car, go over there, surprise her, because I had plenty of time. It's only going to be like a 45-minute lunch, be back before Tracy has to go in, whatever. Driving to my mom's house, I'm on the phone with Tracy's mom giving her an update, and she's asking about the wildfires that are happening up further north because she lives in Virginia. And she's like, have you guys gotten any of the smoke down in Florida? And I said, no, not really. But as I'm driving around the corner, I see smoke billowing in the distance. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like, is somebody burning brush or something? I know we're on a burn ban in Polk County. So
no, we're not anymore, actually.
Oh, we're not? Oh, this was 3 weeks ago. So I don't. Was it just now?
We've been lifted for the last month and a half.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, they removed it with all the rain that we've been having. But anyway, go ahead. It's neither here or there.
Burn a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on too. I'm waiting for this rain to let up.
So good to know. That actually helps me. So
you're welcome.
I'm driving down the road, and I was like, no. And I was like, well, hold on, let me go. So I pull around the corner, and there's smoke billowing out of my mom's house. Just billowing out of all of the eaves down this long ranch-style house, 3,000 square foot home. So I pull around the corner, hop out of the car. Luckily, the garage is open for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason, but I'll tell you that in a minute. I run inside, and it is so thick with smoke that I can't see a foot and a half in front of me. I can just hear my mom in her half English, half German arguing with 911 that she's a smoker and the smoke is not bothering her, that the fire's on the other end of the house and they need to send somebody out, and she doesn't want to go outside because she's on the landline and the phone doesn't reach that far. So of course,
hold on a second before you go on. I'm visually in my head your mother sitting in an old 1978 like lazy boy recliner chair with a cigarette in her mouth going, listen, I'm not going outside.
No, she wasn't in a lazy. She wasn't a lazy boy. So they have an eat-in kitchen, and there's a small round table there with like the brown chair sitting around it.
Right.
You know, with a layup that comes down in the middle. I mean, it literally looks like something out of the 80s, like any 80s movie, you know, that has a kitchen set up, like an eat-in kitchen. That's exactly what it looks like. And there's an island in the middle, and she's sitting there arguing with them. And I grab her, and I'm like, we got to go outside. The house is on fire. So I push her ass outside, and then I run back inside, and I cut the emergency breaker. I call 911 on my phone, because as soon as I cut the emergency breaker, the landline cut out because she's on shitty ass Spectrum. Sorry, Spectrum, but you're shitty. And I run and I go ahead and ventilate the windows where I can, and I run to the back, and the whole back bathroom is on fire, just engulfed. And the sad part is normally I carry a fire extinguisher in my car. Like I always I have one in there now. I had just taken it out because I've been moving a bunch of stuff for Tracy at her work, so I wanted the extra space for cargo. Didn't think about putting it back. One time I needed it, of course, that's when it's, you know, not showing up. So get her out. Then she's proceeding to try to run back in the house because she wants to save stuff. And meanwhile, the fire department's like 2 minutes out because we're right around the corner from a fire department. Fire department shows up. I'm still struggling to keep her out of the house because every time I turn around to like tell them what's going on, where it's at, she's running in the house to the point where the police officer had to come over and kind of, you know, hold her at bay. At which point she tells, my mom's 5'1", and she tells this like 6'5" like motorcycle law enforcement officer, like, if you touch me, it'll be the worst thing you've ever done in your life, you know. And I'm like, okay, Mom, you need to chill the hell out. So they're doing their things. The guy, you know, the fire chief guy comes over with the police guy, and they're asking her, and like she's like, I've got no place to go, nobody cares for me. I'm standing right there, like I live 3 minutes from my mom's house. She's like, I have no place to take a shower, and I'm like, I've got nice showers in my house, and I have like the good soap. You can come take a shower at my house. You can stay at my house. So she's literally like dogging me out in front of the, you know, the police officers, Lakeland PD, and the fire department. And she's wanting to like keep going back in the house, and they're like, no. You know, I didn't run in there, get the bird out, took the bird out, like that stuff. So then, you know, we finally get her squared away. She comes over to my house. She still refuses to take a shower, and then she wants to go back and stay at her house, even though they recommend her not to. Fast forward, I go to Tracy's. I had to get an electrician over to the house because when I cut the power, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't an electrical fire. So I had to get an electrician. You helped me out with that. I super appreciate that. Electrician gets there. I'm not able to be there because now at this point, I am in the surgical center with Tracy pre-op waiting for her to go back, and I can't be at my mom's house. The electrician guy calls me and says, hey, your mom's not letting me go up in the attic for some reason. And she's just like, I don't want strangers to be in my attic. And I'm like, he's not a stranger. He's an electrician. That we need to inspect the cables so I can make sure we can turn the AC on if you're going to stay there, because you can't really stay there because you want to leave. And it's such a struggle because she's 83 years old and she's just like still sharp as a tack, but stubborn as an ox.
Right.
It's like does not want to be told what to do, when to do, or how to do it. You know, I can respect it, but at the same time, I'm like, why are you making life more difficult? So long story short, he's only able to get the AC up and running at the moment. So she has AC that night. And, you know, of course, she complains the next morning that she had a horrible time sleeping and everything's filthy and dirty. And I called their insurance company. The insurance company sent out a crew to do the mitigation, which was mainly just to make sure that nothing's getting worse, not to like fix everything in that instant, which really pissed her off because she thought that everything would be completely restored in like 15 minutes or less because it's magic world. And she's just been a living nightmare since then to deal with because everything's been super complicated. She has to like get involved in everything and then make it more difficult as opposed to making it easier. For example, she has this 2015 Kia Forte with like 7,000 miles on it for 2015, like crazy. And this little plastic grommet broke on her brake pad that prevented the brake lights from turning off. So she called me in a panic about that. So no one there to help her. So I hop in the car, drive over. She's about 25 minutes away from me now from where I live. So I take the trip over there. I get there. She's already conned somebody into helping her at the hotel fix it temporarily by taping some pennies in their place. And I was like, Mom, you don't need to go anywhere tonight. The dealership's closed. They don't have the part. I drove to Advance. They didn't have the part. I tried to get another part that was similar. It wouldn't fit. So I couldn't, jerry rig it to make it work. So I just said, don't move the car. It's off. Everything's fine. I'll be here as soon as the dealership opens. I'll go to the dealership. I'll get the part. I'll come over. I'll put it in. Well, for some reason, she decided to move the car 2 parking spaces over because that parking space looked a little bit better than the parking space the car was in. So by doing so, it caused the pennies to dislodge and the brake stayed on all night. And she got up the next morning and the car battery's dead. So she's calling me with that panic, how to get AAA out there because she has AAA. She's getting mad because everything's done online and she doesn't use any type of technology. She stopped using technology in like 1980. Well, pre-computer, probably, I'd say 1970. Like, if it's a cordless phone, it's too complicated. She doesn't understand cordless phones. That's how bad it is. So the guy comes out, fixes everything. Everything's great. Like, she's okay now. But holy crap, has it been a effing nightmare. Effing nightmare.
I bet it's been a shit show.
It has literally been a shit show. We've got, they were going to put her up in a Airbnb. And we get there, and I had to agree with them because I had asked for like clear, easy parking that she could pull right into a covered garage. Like that was the only requirement, and be ground level because she doesn't do stairs. Lo and behold, the place they rented, it was like this. You had to go down an alley. It was tight. Turn in, and I'm like, there's no way she can park. The only other option was parallel parking, and she's never been able to parallel park. I was like, it's not going to work. So we had to put her back in a hotel, and because Lockheed Martin was having some type of an event, all the hotels were booked up. I barely found a hotel room to put her in for the night. That was in an area that she could like navigate if she needed to.
Right.
Not happy about that. But now she's okay. She seems to be doing a little bit better. Now we're in the process of trying to find her a new house to buy. But holy crap, has she been making my life live in hell. Tracy's doing great. Full recovery.
I bet.
Good there. But personal life, a little crazy with Mom. So that's why we have done a podcast. And hopefully that story wasn't too boring as I yammered on for the near 15 minutes. How are you doing, Brad? What's new with you?
I'm just trying to wake up. I'm just
sorry, I didn't mean to put you out.
I'm just joking. Only 17 minutes later. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was like thinking to myself the whole time because how fucked up I am. I was like, so you were literally minutes away from being super wealthy and you let it slide. Is that fucked up?
No, it's not. That's what the weird part is because it's, if I had not had this overwhelming, crazy feeling to like that I'd feel like shit for not going over there, because my mom and I don't have the best relationship, in my opinion.
Right.
And I've been trying very hard since my dad passed away to be a good son.
Right.
Above and beyond. Let any of the snide comments, the remarks, all of that stuff just roll off my shoulders and just show up and do the right thing. And that's what I was doing that day. And if I had not shown up, I don't think she would have survived, simply because she did not understand the concept of smoke inhalation is what normally kills people, not actually being burned to death in a fire. Like most people succumb to the carbon monoxide poisoning prior to, being consumed by the fire.
Right.
And yeah, I thought about that, obviously. I mean, we've had several like blow up at conversations and, I've lost my cool on her a couple of times just because she's literally made things way more difficult than they need to be.
Just a couple of times?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Probably 98.7% of the time.
You're like, maybe.
Like my biggest gripe, and maybe people can relate with this, I don't know. My biggest complaint is she gives me crap when things go wrong, but I have no way of knowing. Like she's like a prime example, a couple weeks ago, she calls me and she's bitching up a storm because the light in her closet went out. And she's like, I'm 83 years old. I have no one that will come help me. I have no one that can change this light bulb. I had to get up on a ladder and change it myself. And I was so dizzy and I have diabetes and blood pressure and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why didn't you just call me? no answer. Like just
Yeah, of
goes right
course.
on with the rant. And I'm like, why am I the asshole for not knowing that your closet light went out? Like, how am I supposed to know that? Like, I don't have like clairvoyance. And it's just shit like that bothers me. Like it's like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to be
Because
like that?
that's what they do.
There was another lady at the hotel that my mom's staying at, and this woman has like leukemia. Like she lost her house in the fire as well, coincidentally. And she was just the most positive person, you know, like, hey, yeah, this sucks, but I have my life. I got my pets. I lost stuff, but I can replace it. I get to start fresh in a new place. I thank God I have insurance. Like, she was just happy go lucky. And then here's my mom, like, the world is at an end, like, oh, what am I going to do? I don't know how to use an iPhone. And it's like, you have a cell phone. And she was literally complaining because it was too complicated, but her phone was exactly the same number of steps. It was like, press the call button and then dial the number in the keypad. Exactly the same as her cell phone that was like 15 years old. It's like exactly the same, but she's like, this is too complicated. I can't use technology. This is too complicated. Everybody's like, using this stupid technology. And I'm like, you need to get with the times. I'm too old. I'm too old. And I'm like, I hate hearing that. It's like, you're never too old. Like,
You're never too old to learn something. I think they use the old one as an excuse of saying, I just don't feel like fucking doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, just be honest and say, listen, I'm not. It's not that I'm old. I just don't fucking care. It's that simple. I'd have more respect out of somebody that tells me that. Like, listen, I'm not old. I just really don't want to learn something new. I'm done learning. I'm old and I don't really fucking give a shit. I think I respect old people that did that more. I'd be like, right on, man. All right. Because what can you say to that? You can't say shit. The motherfucker just said, hey, guess what? I'm lazy. I don't want to do it. I'm old and I just don't want to learn something new.
It just sucks because it's like they want to take no effort, and it's just I get it. Like, yes, life sucks sometimes, life's hard, but you could look at it, with a little bit of positive light, and not be so negative, and look at it as a freaking adventure to try something new. And yeah, I know your old way is better and whatever. Like, everything was compared to like, we were going out shopping for houses, and she literally told the realtor, I only paid like $68,000 for my house in 1984. I can't believe this house is $200,000 and my house is so much bigger. And I'm like, that's because 40 fucking years have passed.
Yeah, it was 40 fucking years ago, man. What the hell do you think it would be? Duh.
I mean, it is not. Prices aren't the same. And then the other thing that drives me nuts, and I'm gonna get off this soapbox.
No, stay on it, man. Preach it.
Because she thinks it's just because it's old does not make it valuable.
Right.
Everything she has, she's like, this is a classic. This is an antique. My dad's 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's only got 50,000 miles on it. I get it, but it's just a 4-cylinder, or it might be a 6-cylinder. I don't know. It's the little Jeep, average build out, like nothing extraordinary. And she's like, this thing is in mint condition. It's a classic. It's an antique. Like, people want these. And I'm like, nobody cares.
Nobody knows.
They're not going to spend top dollar for it. You're not going to get crazy money.
Yeah, it's not like she didn't have a 1967, Corvette Stingray in the fucking garage covered with a dust. You know what I mean? Like,
it was mass produced, and then on top of that, like, you open it up and it smells like an ashtray because they smoked in it for like 15 years. Like it's yellowed on the inside, so it's not even like in pristine condition. It's got a dent in the back lift gate. Like, I get it,
but it's highly valuable.
Make it valuable, and she keeps talking about her stuff, and I get it, man. It's just so sad to see people when they get so attached to their stuff, and I don't want to ever be that way. Like, I realized going through this process that stuff really keeps you from enjoying life. Like, you become a slave to your stuff.
It's funny you say that because, somebody was saying the other day, I was watching this video of all things, and they were talking about exactly what you're talking about. And it's like, you can't take that shit with you. Number one, when you leave, you only got yourself. How you came into the world is how you leave, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And, it's kind of like, why do we put so much onto our possessions? Because I mean, like even hey, listen, the pharaohs tried it. Guess what? It was for somebody else to dig up 1,000 years later and take for their own and put in a
Yeah.
museum. You know what I mean? So they didn't get to keep their stuff. It's gone. The
Right.
only thing sitting there, and their bodies aren't even freaking. They took their bodies and put them on display. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you
Yeah.
didn't get what you wanted. So you might as well just like live your life, your best life, and while you're here, because it's a short period, even shorter for them back in their time. You know?
100%. I mean, and I don't know, that was different. I mean, that was royalty
Yeah.
too,
No shit.
taking their like, burying their stuff with them. I mean, they were royalty, so that's a little bit different, but I also think that's kinda shitty, and I was sitting there going, I was like, I was trying to explain to her the how was the best way for me to say this? Y You're almost being selfish by not allowing things to move on to other people. Like, if you're holding on to a shirt, in your closet, and you're just holding on to it, and you're not wearing it because for sentimental reasons or whatever, you're preventing that shirt from serving someone else, from helping someone else create new memories. Like, pass it on, like pay it forward. Same thing with a house. Like, she's, like I said, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, huge house, 3,000 square feet as one little old lady. That house deserves a family. That house deserves people that wanna make memories in it, not someone that has made their memories, and I know that sounds horrible, but that's just kinda like how I feel. I feel like you should allow people to, um, use your, like, play it forward, like, let your stuff go forward.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
No, I'm the same way, man. It's funny. Like I said before, it's just that people think that like their possessions are who they are, you know, and it's not that way. It's just not that way. Your possessions don't make you. I don't know. I think the older you get, though, too. I mean, in most cases, I don't think it's like everyone, but I think in most cases, most people start to realize that the possessions aren't as important as it was when you were 20 and 30 years of age. I don't know about you, but I don't think anything like I did when I was 20. Like, I thought life was about possessions and having nice things and being better than the next person by having a better car, a better house, a better this, a better that. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Um, I never felt that way, to be honest with you. For me, it was always like, I wanted nice stuff for me, not for others. Like,
Interesting.
I didn't really ever buy anything because I was trying to, like, impress people. For me, it was more about things that I like and things that I enjoy. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that, just because it's expensive or name brand doesn't mean it's better necessarily.
Right. But
Doesn't mean the
another
quality's better.
another angle that I used to think about when I was in my 20s was that I wanted to leave my name in history. That was like, I
Mhm.
don't know why I thought that was super important. You know how like you have Steve Jobs, he's like his name is encoded in history. Elon Musk's, things like
Yeah.
that. Bill Gates with Microsoft. I thought to myself, yeah, I want that ingrained forever. But even people
Right.
like Henry Ford will get lost in time. As we pass through time, even
Probably
he
not.
won't be remembered. He probably won't be remembered as the first automobile because people will be flying in flying cars, or some type of object where we'll be flying versus driving a four-wheeled vehicle at some point. So I think at some point you're only in history for so long, and so I changed my mindset about that because I used to think that was a striving goal, was to be remembered forever. I think everybody wants to think that they would be remembered forever, but the fact is you won't. Can you tell me who the
I
fifth
disagree.
president
I
was?
disagree with you. No, because I'm not a history buff, but I can tell you who Alexander the Great was. I can tell you who Genghis Khan was, and they were
Right.
much, much older.
Yeah, but
I
I
mean,
mean, there'll be certain characters. Let me back up. There'll be certain people that will be remembered. I'm talking about in the modern era. I don't know, man. I don't know
I
how
think
many of
Henry
these
Ford will
modern. I mean,
always be
you got Genghis
remembered.
Khan who fucked half the fucking world, dude. I mean, everybody's DNA
Yeah.
has Genghis Khan in them because he was in everybody. You know what I mean? So you can't really. I mean, you're talking about somebody who conquered pretty much the world.
But
Alexander
I'm
the
saying,
Great
like,
conquered pretty
if
much
you
of
leave enough
Europe.
if you leave a big enough impact, you'll be remembered. Let me look at, like, Plato and look at, Nietzsche.
Yeah, I think that's what I said, but it's
Beethoven,
very
Bach,
far.
Mozart.
But if you look at
I
the
don't.
billions of people that have passed it through time, is what I'm saying. The billions of
I'm not
people that passed
arguing
through
that's a
time.
small amount. I'm arguing the fact that I believe that you can stand the test of time, especially now because so much stuff is getting documented. I mean, we went past the information super age, so you have the entire, you know, Library of Alexandria in your palm. You can ask any question and get the information. I mean,
So what you're telling me is we have a chance to be remembered forever with the Daily
well, we have a
BM.
lot more. I'll tell you why. Because it was James Monroe, by the way, was the fifth president.
Yeah. Fuck you, Elon Musk. Go ahead. Sorry. You actually looked it up? You motherfucker. I knew you were doing something. That bitch literally just looked up the fifth president, didn't you? Don't lie.
Nope. Actually, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Lie, bitch. You did. You Googled that fucker. I know you. You didn't know who it was.
On my
Lies.
honor, I did not use Google.
What did you use? Safari.
No, you still have Safari is just a browser.
Ding, ding,
It's
ding,
not a
ding,
search
ding.
engine.
So
Not a
what search
search
engine
engine.
did you use? You used ChatGPT,
I
didn't you?
didn't. Possibly.
What's that?
More than likely, yes, of course. I just told you I have the entire, Library of Alexandria in my pocket. Why wouldn't I look it up? I want to know who the fifth president is. I can.
Okay, whatever, Genghis Khan.
All right, buddy. But seriously, on a side note, like I think like guys like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs will go down in history, especially with the way that technology is. You know, I do think that there's those movers and shakers that will stick with us throughout the test of time. Now, your average man, they're the ones that fade with generations. So when you think legacy and stuff like that, it's really how your lineage lives on and the lessons that your kids learn that they pass on to their kids. So it's not so much about making an impact on the world. It's about making an impact on like the people around you.
Oh
my opinion.
God, you're so sensitive. No, I mean, listen. All joking around aside, I do agree with you on that. But like I said, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, back in my 20s, I thought you had to leave a legacy behind for the whole world to remember you.
Mhm.
And so I think as we get older, we realize it's just because you really only get remembered by two generations. And then you might get remembered with the help of like the digital world with Ancestry and things like that,
Yeah.
where you can go and learn the history. Like now, I wouldn't be surprised down the road where Ancestry puts our videos and puts like links to where we had these shows, for instance. And you could be like, wow, look at my great great grandfather. What an idiot he was. He had this Daily BM show they did. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
or they might
That's
laugh.
and that's what I was kind of talking is like, we're going to be immortalized more so than like any other generation before us, because we're going to have our likenesses be able to stand the test of time. For instance, it's like you can go back and see images from the 1920s, pictures and photographs. Like I can look back at my ancestry and see what those people look like. Well, now people in the future are going to be able to go back and watch TikToks and things of that nature from this generation and be able to judge us for how stupid we are.
I even got you beat. They're actually going to take AI and load us and our personalities in there, and then you'll be able to talk with your great 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 ancestor. You know what I mean? Like, so somebody like how, I mean, we always make nerd references to Star Trek, but it will literally be that way. You will have a holodeck where you could or some type of program you load up, and you'll be able to talk to me like it was me there. It's just it's not my consciousness, it's just my AI consciousness. That's where
I was thinking
go.
even more nerdy. I was like Harry Potter with the talking pictures and the moving pictures.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. You
go.
Didn't really go Hogwarts on me. Jesus
I
Christ.
sure did.
With that, guys, we're gonna have to get the hell out of here because that just I can't talk about Harry Potter.
I wanted to say something else. Give me like 2 more seconds here.
No. Go ahead.
I think the moment that I heard Mike Tyson say, I don't believe in the word legacy, I just think that's another word for ego.
Is that how he said it, though?
I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about legacy after that? We're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. Our legacy is nothing. I knew at that moment that he was gonna throw the fight with Jake Paul for the money. 'Cause he was like, "I don't give two shits about my legacy. It's about getting paid."
Yeah, he's like, it's all about getting that money. I
So
mean,
it
for
made me
real.
but he's not wrong. It made me think, like, you're dead. So why do you care about your legacy after that point? Like, you're gone. You're not here anymore. It doesn't matter.
So we could save
It's
that for
just
a whole
ego.
nother podcast, but where do you think we go?
I'm listening to an audiobook called Chrysalis. I think we get
Save it.
reincarnated as our animal on another planet.
Okay, we'll save that because we're talking about that on the next show. We're literally gonna write this down and we're gonna remember to have this conversation about where we think we might go, dimension wise, whatever. All right, and do some nerd shit. So if you want to turn into new nerd shit on the next episode, just tune in. Mike, you ready to get out of here, man?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys. Listen, don't forget, go to our social medias that we're barely on, and you can go follow us there for updates every 2 years, like we always do. Other than that, Mikey, you got anything else to say before we go?
Hey, have a good one. Catch you on the next one.
Yep, and leave your legacy. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.
Deuces.
Deuces.